Thank you all for watching, and thank you for always staying very fervent to the program. It's another day again, and yes, we have come with those same great minds who are going to give you knowledge like never before. They are going to make sure that from today onwards, you're going to look at your companion, you're going to look at your acquaintances, you're going to look at your socialization in a different way, with a different eye, and you're going to sit yourself down and make better decisions on how to forge or to make friendship altogether. So in essence, that's what we are looking at today. First and foremost, many of you do know we did come up with this talking point while on a live session. Apostle and Pastor Julius were talking about something really, really important, and one thing led to another, and we found ourselves in that domain of friends. And on the other day, when we were trying to look at something very, very important again, that youth of today, I'm sure you guys enjoyed that program with Aya Abine. Well, we just found it very, very convenient and wonderful to pair these people up, like, this brain and that brain. What can it bring? So today, being the day, we're going to look at a good friend, how to make one and how to be one. That's exactly our talking point for the day. A good friend, how to make one and how to be one. Because it does not just end at you making a good friend. You have to be a good friend, right? You can't give what you do not have, and you do not expect to receive what you do not give. Not so. Yes, our talking point for the day is a good friend, how to make one, how to be one. There is a number on your screen. I will beg on us to use the MTN. Do send us a text message via normal SMSs or via WhatsApp. We will take them. But if you feel like you can call, that's okay by me. You can call. Now, let's quickly meet our panelists for today. We start with the Apostle, of course. It's his platform. So if we are here with him, let's just start with him. Apostle Lefo Divine, our love doctor, our counselor, our coach, our entrepreneur, our pastor, our advisor. I mean, he has so many feathers to his cap. You can keep adding them. Hello to you, Apostle.
Hello, Madam. Let me not get into that. Okay, so it's an honor, fellow viewers of iTelevision. It's another wonderful edition, and it's a privilege to be here again. Interesting topic. We promised to talk about it. Here we are. It's been a while. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the discourse. It's something pertinent, and I'm sure the approach and the different ways we are going to look at it will at least have a take-home message.
Okay, thank you very much. And yes, we have Aya W. Bine, who is, of course, a coach. And well, I saw something on his WhatsApp, is it profile, where it reads a productivity and business leadership coach and consultant. I was like, bam. The last time he was here with you all, you saw his fruit, and his fruit was talking, and it was very insightful to have that girl dish out what she was dishing out, and then finally meeting him, the Oga Kwata Kwata. It was really a wonderful time with you here the last time we were on set, and we are blessed to have you again today. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I mean, it's always amazing to have great minds, to have Apostle Lefo Divine here. I mean, it's always amazing. As I mentioned the last time, it's always a massive privilege to have a chance to serve.
Yeah.
And we in this industry, in this sector, what we specialize in is in dishing out information. Not just information, but valuable information. And so every time we have this chance to come and be together like this, it's a wonderful privilege. I see it as a privilege.
Okay.
And so you out there who takes out the time to want to follow us, to want to share, to want to participate, we really, really cherish you. And because without you, what we are doing here is not valuable.
Exactly.
And I also think that the conversation we have today is so vital because everyone evolves within an ecosystem.
Exactly.
And of course, every ecosystem has different parts. And I must say that the friendship part, whatever you want to look at it, no matter the level, is a key element of that ecosystem. And so it is absolutely vital that we look at how to break it down so that those who are operating that ecosystem can maximize that element in that ecosystem.
Thank you so much, Abine. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give a big shout out to our lady behind the camera, Madam Claudine Limbi. She's the reason why you're able to see us. And thanks to all who are already watching. So very quickly, let's get into it. Our talking point for the day, like I did say, is a good friend. How to make one and how to be one. So in essence, how do you make a good friend and how do you become a good friend? But before we'll even get to that talking point, I'm sure the conversation that will be carried out, that we'll be having here, will carry us to the talking point itself, because that talking point is already a destination, but we are not there yet. So we are actually here to find out how to get there. Okay, now I'll always start with Apostle, but for today I want Apostle to get a different mind. Apostle likes challenging people, so I'm looking forward to someone challenging him one day, especially a woman, because men he always has discussions with men, and I think he's okay, but I think he's also looking forward to having a woman challenge him. So please, if you're out there watching, please just text me via the number. I need someone to challenge Apostle one day. Now I'll start with you, W. Abine. First and foremost, who is a friend? Or what is a friend? It's a big term at the end of the day.
That's true. But I love the talking point, because you said about a good friend and how to be one.
Yeah.
Because from my perspective, I don't even think that if you're not a good friend, then you're a friend.
You're
so
not a friend. Yeah.
If you look at the friend conversation, it's about value exchange.
Okay.
And that's why we look at friendship, they'll talk about, you see words like trust, you see words like mutual, you see words like reciprocity.
Of course.
So it's a two-way thing.
Exactly.
Which means that friendship is only possible, especially in the because I am convinced that the conversation here is from the positive perspective, way to say. And so from the positive way of looking at things, we can only talk friendship. And so when you look at the different definitions of friendship, your keywords: trust, mutual, reciprocity, exchange, value. And then I decided to add a word which I term fairly.
Okay.
Fairly. Because the reason why we need to talk about this today is because most people involved in this don't see the word fairly as relevant. And that's because there is an imbalance. Human beings, most sales experts will say people claim to be rational, but most of their decisions are emotional. But they justify their decisions logically. And that's to say, as a human being, there is a tendency for you to be emotional in your perspective. And emotions usually not are selfish.
Yeah.
Permit me to use the word selfish.
Of course they are.
So I'm saying that friendship, if I have to look at friendship in a way which is beneficial to the society, because I think it's for the society that we're here.
Yes.
Let's add the word fairly. So generally, I'm not a fan of definitions, but I'm just saying that it's supposed to be something mutual.
Okay.
Of course, it's not a family member. It's not somebody you're intimate with.
Okay.
It's somebody whom you exchange value with. But that exchange of value now should be fair. And that's why one of the things I want you to keep in mind, and I said to note it down so that I don't forget, is that lack of boundaries is in proof of niceness in friendship long term.
I like that one.
That lack of boundaries isn't proof of niceness in friendship long term. I need you to keep that and to reflect on it, because as we exchange today,
please repeat. Let me write it down for everyone. You said lack of boundaries.
Lack of boundaries.
Yes. Isn't proof
of niceness.
In friendship long term. Okay.
So I think that's a very important part. That's why I put fairly in my appreciation of the term. Because without that fairly element, and then it becomes extortion, it becomes exploitation, it becomes taking advantage of one another. So I feel that that's a foundational thing on which I want to hand. So mark the word fairly.
Okay. Let me also just write that one fairly. Okay. All right, Apostle, you've listened to Abine talk. He's not a fan of definitions, true, but he's laid his foundation of what to him is friendship, or to him is a friend. Now, up to you. What is a friend, or who is a friend?
I'm really going to approach this. It's difficult to define. Unfortunately, there are many words nowadays that we assume to know what it means. that have become cliches. It's so easy, sometimes even when people quarrel online, even pastors or leaders or great minds, most of the times if you go deep within, you will discover a lot of times it's just vocabulary problem. Two people can be saying the same thing, but the problem is their choice of words or what they believe each word means. For example, people have attacked me for talking about why a pastor talk about dating. You see, the problem is not the word dating, it's the picture that comes to their mind when I mention dating. So they're like, why should a pastor talk about dating? So you will see that they're not really attacking me.
They're attacking the picture in their head.
They're attacking the picture in their head of what dating is. So rather than trying to find out what I think about dating, they are fighting with themselves. Now, this is the reality of life. And another common word that has this error is this word friends. And I a lot of times we talk about it like we understand it, because a lot of time we do it unintentionally, and after that we just grow up. A lot of things, it's just like getting up today saying, no, hey, I'm a friend that, I'm my best friend that, and somehow you believe you know what you're talking about. Maybe because people grow up in the same compound, maybe because you are fond of the person.
Or because you guys walk to school, you think you're a friend.
Walk to school together. For 7 years.
So you think you guys are friends?
Good. That's why you will see two girls who are always competing with each other, yet they are calling themselves friends. They will compete with each other and even stab each other behind the back, and they are still in the same group. Some these people from the same-sex schools, they will remain those group like that since in secondary school, go to high school, and enter university. Still have that group of people who don't like to see each other, but they will still call themselves friends. So let me start by saying that first of all, fondness is not friendship.
Exactly.
Fondness, just because you are fond of someone, is not friendship. That's a misconception. So people think because I'm fond of you, it's friendship.
But people think because you're polite, you're talking to me in a nice way.
Coming. So another way to define is to undefine. I think. Yeah, so I'm trying to
deconstruct.
Yes,
and then you construct
so
later.
I'm trying to since today we are not so good with definitions. Let's try. I
see that politics you all are playing.
Let's try to.
I see now. I understand now.
So I've just debunked fondness. I'm saying this because he's approaching it already very well. I see him already approaching very well in the marketplace. He's a man of he's all of that. So that's already touching that. But I want to come. I will come from another side. That no matter who you are out there, you should be able to understand something, because there's a lot of misconception about this. Fondness isn't. Friendliness is not friendship. To be friendly. You see, this is a discussion I will talk about, and let me just highlight it later in the discussion, where you would see the error of parenting nowadays, where parents want to be friends with their children. Your child is not your friend.
Never.
But you see, this is another thing that modernization and the effect of children, giving birth to children. Most of this feeling is coming from these girls who gave birth 19, 18, 20. They become, oh, my child is my everything. You will see a mother explaining all her problems to a 5-year-old child. You are saying those things. You might think the child will not remember. The child might not remember, but something is happening in the child's subconscious. And all of that. We are going to look at that, because you cannot discipline your friend.
It's difficult.
We must be very careful.
Difficult to do that.
Yes, because, like I said, there's a mutual something in friendship that already places you people at a pedal. So friendliness, to be friendly, to be nice, as you use the word polite, to be kind, and all of that. So I want to say this, especially Christians. This is just our opening, so I'm trying to lay the foundation. Especially to Christians. Unfortunately, many Christians confuse love and friendship. You have the disposition of God within you, so you have the disposition to love everybody. To love what? Everybody. But everybody cannot be your friend. Let's lay it down very well. You see that there's that error where people just go around looking for friend. Just they think,
my friend.
Yeah, my friend.
My friend.
You know that's emotional thing. That, and in fact, even God does not make friends like that. When you read through the Bible, very few people did God call his friend.
Yeah.
Abraham, my friend. You know, very few people did God call his friend. We must be
deeper levels.
Yes, and then you would discover that friendship is not something that happens instantly.
Absolutely.
It's not something I just wake up and say, "Deep morning, I want to go find friend." Then you reach UB Junction and say, "I've now found a friend."
You just say anybody.
No.
My friend. Oh, because the person just gave you 100 francs. You say, "Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Give me a number," and that's all, my friend.
So I will show that from one or two scriptures from this thing, and we are going to get that. So we are just trying to debunk this other thing so that people don't get up and they're like, oh, because that some people think maybe just because you see the person every day, maybe because you are familiar, you are fond of, you're smiling, there is no too much friction. Then this must be a good friend.
True.
Friendship is an intentional thing. It's at a deeper level. It's something that involves exchange, like he talked about the exchange of value. I'm trying to use any word you can understand that, because this is also where friendship is dangerous. Because whenever there is exchange, there is danger.
Because there's expectation.
Not only expectation, it's the same thing that comes from when Paul writes and say that don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manner. Because in deep friendship, then we are going to look at all the levels of friendship, and you will discover that in deep friendship, one of the key things in friendship is communication, exchange. That exchange, because I thought actually we're not just talking about money, goods and services, but you will discover, yes, because sometimes people get confused, especially in this world.
Because someone keeps giving you gifts, you think that person is your friend.
Good,
exactly,
that's wrong. I will show you, and I will show you from how Jesus called people friends, and then we will see Jesus' definition of friendship. We're going to look at it. Let Jesus teach us.
Okay.
I will show you, and you will see. And in that communication, because in that level of communication, and take note, even in the dictionary, they say this friendship is not family or spouse.
Okay.
Yes, it's not family, spouse, or even a lover. That's what the dictionary would call a friend.
Really?
Yes, it's someone
like a neutral person.
It's someone other than a family member, a spouse, or a lover. You must understand this. These people can be a friend.
Yeah.
But
not necessarily.
Not necessarily
make them a friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I get that.
So this is something that must be looked at, and we're going to see some of the cliches, some of the dangers, because in exchange you are opening up yourself. I cannot take from you without opening up myself. It's like two containers. Are you understanding me? If I have to drink from a tap, I always give people this picture illustration. If people always say, I don't want to open up my heart, I have over suffered. I said, no problem. The moment you cannot open it, you also never experience love. Because if you don't open that container, you cannot carry water. But now I know the problem. When you open the container, you might carry also acid. So you better position. So the problem is not opening the container, is to position it where you will carry the thing that you want to carry. So in that exchange, the risk there is that you can also get to pick up things that might be unhealthy. That's why Paul says evil communication can corrupt good manner. So these are some of the things that we just want to debunk, and we look at it in that light so that you can now start evaluating and re-evaluating. And let me make this last statement before I rest. The opposite of friendship is not enmity. This is another error we make, and most Christians always do this. First of all, I've already said that love is not friendship. I'm sure we'll agree with that. It means I owe you love, whether I know you or not.
Okay.
But friendship will require more. So we must not be friends for me to love you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Now, secondly, like when we tell people, as I'm taking as a counselor, a relationship expert, I will advise somebody, stay away from your ex. That is already, you know how when you're around that ex, that's how you are fidgeting. I'll advise the person, stay away from your ex. Then the person will get and say, you hear guests always make this kind of thing, especially when they say having fringe benefit.
Yeah.
You hear they'll say, does it mean that because we are broken up, we should be enemies? No, I did not say be enemies, but I said don't be friends. Because the opposite of friendship is not enmity.
And it's because we do not understand what a friend is.
So I'm saying don't be friends with the person. Suppose it doesn't mean we're enemy, as if the opposite of friendship is enmity. No.
Yeah.
We must not be enemies if we're not friends. Because while I love everybody on the road, we are not friends with everybody.
Exactly.
Can you just wake up and meet somebody and say, my friend?
But that's what we are doing today now.
So I'm just trying to say that that's the reality.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out.
Okay, I love the fact that Apostle he said something that you cannot just leave from your house and you just say, okay, I want to make a friend today. Now, there's a question I wanted to ask. Where are friends found? Like, where do we really get friends from? Because they say now we have a digital world. People meet friends on Facebook, on Instagram. So I'm like, okay, wow, that's good.
I think that's why it's important, first of all, what we've been doing here so far to, as I said, deconstruct. And that's why I said mark the word fairly. Use equity, whatever you want to use, because people are just doing it from the very surface, right? And that's why maybe if you look at the different levels of friendship, they'll talk of acquaintance, or talk
which
of,
is what I want Apostle to be preparing on. After,
Exactly.
Where do we find friends? Now, what are the different levels of friendship? Yeah.
Okay, but about where we find friends.
Yes.
So it's just like Christ. You cannot love somebody more than yourself.
Okay.
All right, and that's what we do sometimes. That's why if Apostle says, for example, that don't be friends with your ex, he's saying it because he wants your good.
Yeah.
But that person, right,
Because of fringe
is
benefit.
trying to be nice to the other person. That person doesn't want to hurt the other person at his or her expense.
Yes.
You see that? Because that person is basically trying to love the other person more than himself or more than herself in that case.
Okay.
You get it? And so what happens to a lot of people is that in their quest for clarity in life, they begin to attach themselves to things or to people in this case.
Yeah.
And they do that because they first of all don't have what I call value systems. And value systems are what make you who you are.
Yeah.
And you basically attract who you are.
Exactly.
So we almost like attract friends. We don't make.
In a
Because
way, yeah.
what happens is, based on who you are, based on what you talk about, based on where you go to, based on the things you do, you're going to attract a particular kind of person or group of people.
Okay.
So I wrote on my status, for example, the other day that my status is virtually a school. It's not for those who want to come and do fun, right? Once they want, I might post fun, but I intentionally want to pass a message because I've noticed that it's better to inspire one person
A day.
than to pull a million followers who have no idea what they are doing. So I said that if you're coming on it, it's not for those who memorize and regurgitate like our school system teaches. It's for those who are ready to get into the deeper parts of the mind, because the mind has 7 parts.
Okay.
And a lot of us, especially in our school system, function with the lowest part of the mind, that's the memory. Which means that so many people have not even been able to progress even in the lower part of the mind. And that kind of person cannot attract a particular quality of friends. So for example, if you ask me how and where you find friends, there is a physical, but there's also the supernatural, there's also the spiritual. And most people focus on the physical. That's why the social media people say they have friends. You can't have friends on social media because you don't see people's real value systems on social media.
Okay.
So if you want to find friends, you find friends within. What do I mean?
I'm like,
you have to go within. So in my life, for example, there's some people out there now I say, now well, I have this group of friends, they're not helping me, but I don't know how to send them away. So you don't have to send them away. You just have to become a different person and they'll walk away. You have to go within. Now, Apostle mentioned something.
Wow, that's true. Yeah.
He mentioned something about, okay, you've been together with somebody for 7 years, for example.
Yeah.
People are going to school, people are doing this. It doesn't mean that people have the same vision in life.
No.
It doesn't mean people even have the same plan. It doesn't mean that people have the same value system. It doesn't mean that people speak the same language. You have 2 friends and they are working. One is nice and polite in the language. The other one is very vulgar, but they are supposed to be friends, according to them. So friendship goes
my friend
a lot inwards, right? Friendship is more of inward than outwards. Dr. Stephen R. Covey will tell you that when there is no balance, he uses the word congruence between the inside and the outside, you cannot function properly. And so if you want to find friends, again, and I'm happy, I was trying to be on the surface, but he went very deep. So he went very deep. If you want to find friends, you have to go back within.
Okay.
Most of us go outwards to find friends. And so even what we use are outward things. We don't use inside things.
I'm looking for a friend, or you just find yourself attaching to someone because that person does makeup, and being a friend, being close to that person, not even like friend, that person will do you free makeup once in a while, and then you attach your friend to another girl who sells fipiri at the market because so literally now we are looking for friends. We are the ones looking because of our particular needs.
What you need. So that word fairly now has been discarded. You see what I mentioned?
Yeah.
It has been discarded because you are not going there to give. That's why he mentioned about, for example, you owe everybody love, but it takes intention, right?
Friendship requires more.
It requires a lot more. When you look at the levels of engagement, again, we'll talk about this in business, but it applies to in personal life, it applies in relationship, it applies in family, it applies in marriage. Levels, in terms of relationship, you have 6 levels of, call it engagement. You could be committed, if that's coming from up, because it can come from down. You can be committed, you can be enrolled, you can operate at willing compliance, you can operate at grudging compliance, you can operate at apathy, you can operate at resistance. So the fact that somebody is not resisting you doesn't mean that person is committed to you. The fact that somebody is apathetic, so the person doesn't say anything, those are the worst. In fact, it's better to have a resistant person than to have an apathetic person.
At least you already know the resistant person,
right? So the fact that somebody is apathetic, the fact that somebody accepts everything that you say doesn't make the person your friend. It doesn't guarantee commitment. You see what I say? It must come from within. Because some of these things you feel them, because it's a match of value systems, right? It doesn't mean that because somebody does something for you, the person is doing it happily. Some people do it grudgingly. It doesn't mean that because somebody is doing something for you, the person will do it in the difficult time. Some people do it willingly, so they call it willing compliance. They call it grudging compliance. Now there are some people too who will do something for you only because they are going to get the benefits, and then there are some who will do it what you call unconditionally. So when two people are operating at that level, at commitment, not apathy, not willing compliance, when two of them meet, you can have true friendship because they come to give to one another boundlessly, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately today, a lot of people in the way they operate, they only look at the surface, and that's where they stay. And so that's why so many people spend their time looking for friends instead of making themselves someone who can attract worthy friends.
And this has translated to marriage.
There you go. Of course. That's why we have the level of divorce we have today. That's why families are disintegrating, because a lot of things that happen in many relationships happen only on the surface. Only on the surface. That's why people don't want to read. They don't want to study. People get into marriage without reading any relationship book. People get into marriage without listening to anything relationship. People get into marriage without understanding even themselves. I'll give you an example. If you don't know your personality type, for example, and let's say you're a melancholic, you are prone to sadness, you are prone to... The truth is that until you work on yourself and you're able to balance your extreme emotions with logic, I will not advise you to make friends with a choleric, because cholerics are more self-centered, cholerics think more about themselves, cholerics they are not very developed emotionally. So I'm a choleric, for example, but I know, so I'm careful the way I say, the things I say, because otherwise you'll be so sharp. So if, as a melancholic, you've not taken time to work on yourself, that's to go inwards, you might be tempted, right, in ignorance, to have a lot of choleric friends. And what that would do to you, whatever friends mean, first of all, in that case, right? Because if it's friends, then you know be with them because they're not friends.
Of course.
Because if you are friends with cholerics, without going, so I'm emphasizing on going inwards. When you build from inside, you're automatically going to attract those kinds of people because the way you're going to be operating.
Yeah, because Apostle and I have been, I've always had this amusement as to why people go right on their status. Haters, you have friends who are haters. I'm like, how do these words match? Like, how did you even attract somebody within your own circle, like your circle? This is supposed to be your circle, and that person comes within your circle, and then the person is hating on you. That person is jealous, and up to now you're unable to like break away, and all you can do is go about saying that my friend is so at least that you say that my friend is so jealous me. I'm like,
but have you not noticed that that thing that they said After 2 days, he will pass.
And don't be tight again.
Still, the person will still be tight with that person.
Exactly.
That is the selfish nature of humanity. There is something he keeps saying. I really wish people understood what he's saying. I know he has made it look very deep. Go inward.
Yeah. Many look so superficial.
I've dealt with a lot of people in such a way that when they hear this wonderful, high-sounding people, they're like, these are for big people.
Yeah, this is for people. It's not for me.
You see, this, for example, this topic came about when we're talking some things also regarding relationship.
Exactly.
And stuff. And I've sung this song for all the years, over a decade. I've been a counselor. And I have said, for example, marriage is one of the deepest level of commitment that can exist at the level of humanity and stuff. That comes with a lifetime kind of commitment, an engagement that includes even lawyers and stuff that can take you ahead and go. But you see, I've always said that the error of that is when people go to connect with another person when they don't know who they are. You see, you have asked a question where the friend, you see, they cannot tell you that he's in Malingo, he's in UB Junction. No. It's about you.
Yeah, because you hear parents saying, I'll transfer my child to Garwa so that when he gets there, he will make new friends, start a new life.
I get that.
Yeah.
And I understand that. Like I told you, that there are some words that we use that might not have what we are struggling to convey. I get the wisdom of sending your child to a particular school, let them know particular people.
Yeah.
It's different. That's a talk about acquaintance, fun, and it's technical. Where they want, maybe you see someone who pay 1 million for school. It's not for GCE. He wants you
the
go
connection.
To those schools.
Particular environment.
Yeah.
That is something else. Because you want to affect a future. You know where the thing is going. Maybe those people from abroad, that's where their children are going, and all of those kind of things. You want to see
there's that network. You
also see that kid, he travel go abroad, say no, I want to go and do summer holiday with my friend.
Yeah,
all of those things. That they're doing something. You see, but even when a child is saying this is my friend, they don't know what they're talking about. We cannot allow children to define that for us. You understand? When a child says this is my friend, they are saying it to the best of their knowledge. We cannot be taking the children. That's why even my little child in the house will tell her own mother when her mother gets angry, you will not be my friend. You understand?
Like, why are you angry with me?
Yes,
you're supposed to be my friend.
When she's angry, I will not be. Even sometimes when they fight or when they quarrel in the compound, you hear it one, another will tell another one.
I'll not be a friend.
I'll not be a friend.
Won't be a friend.
You get it? So we cannot be using those definitions. But I get that other point. But now my point is this. There are two things I really wanted to point out here. One, friendship is so deep that let me read you a passage that many people have always read, but I've never understood what it means. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24. Now, unfortunately, most people always read this in the King James, so I'm going to read it in the Amplified. The man of many friends, in bracket, a friend of all the world, will prove himself a bad friend. But there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. No, people always take that second part. A friend who sticks closer than a brother. Now, this statement is made because friendship goes beyond blood relatedness and all of that. Now, so hear this. It says, the man of many friends. Now, the tricky part about this is that friendship is so deep that if you have many friends, you will be a bad friend. This is it. That a man of many friends. Go and check all the people who gossip. Now, people, the way they claim say all men are their friend.
Now that's serious.
True.
I'm telling you. Is the person everybody they always get that the she don't know it only can meet on me. I didn't mean so I don't like me. She's it ever can meet on me. Please. I want you to, this is a passage that this wise man in Proverbs is saying that a man who is friendly to everybody, who is not friendly, who is a friend, it means that if you make friendship with everybody, you would be a bad friend. That is one of the reasons why social media is very confusing. Today people don't know whether they should support mama this or mommy this or which mommy,
because they are friends to
everybody, and you don't want
to hurt anybody
and all of that. So you yourself are confused, and that's why he made a very powerful statement. He says value system. I wish people understood that term, value system, because the whole thing about friendship. Now let me tell you something. In John chapter 15 verse 15, look what Jesus said. I no longer call you servants, because a master does not confide in his servants. Now you are my friends, since I have told you everything the Father told me. He says, now you are my friends. This is Jesus. This is close to Jesus' end of his life. Chapter 15, 16, 17. Jesus was doing his last prayers for his disciples before he's going. So this is Jesus towards the end of his life. Jesus is telling his disciples that I am no longer calling you my servants, my slaves. I'm no longer calling you. I now call you friends. Now. It means they did not start as friends. He said, I now. Are you understanding me? But this is John who called them. In fact, in that same chapter 15 verse 16, the next way he says, you did not choose me, I chose you. First, friendship is an intentional thing. But Jesus was using his value system. He knew his assignment, he understood his purpose. That's when you will now know who to bring around you. So Jesus has his 3 around him. He knows when to have just 3 people with him. He knows when to have 12 people with him. He knows when to have the 70. He knows when to have the 120. And he was not telling but the 120 that you are my friends. Because as we know, by the time Jesus is leaving this earth, barely 120 people can gather for him. A man who has shook the world. A man that thousands of people had watched him. A man that had, what are you talking about? A man that had fed 5,000 people minus women and children. That's a man who has gathered over 15,000, because if they don't count women and children, you know that there are always more in every meeting, in every gathering. You can imagine. So a man of thousands upon thousands upon thousands, yet when that man is leaving this earth, only 120 people can gather in his name and they were hiding, not even openly, in an upper room. I want you to see, every normal man today that did ministry like Jesus, they will call you a failure.
True.
The worst one is you die for 34, untimely death.
You put your hand for some side.
Yes. Hardy boy go job because shine, so they don't die for 34 years. Something.
They never yet theory.
No, I want to just make this. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? I'm using this because I want to use. It is Jesus that will teach us how friendship is. He says that what? I call you friends. I now have told you everything. There was a communication, like I explained.
Yeah.
I have told you. It means that before we got to this level of friendship, what has been happening? We have been having exchanges.
Exactly.
We have been having exchanges. Not because I came. You see, the problem with this, even in relationship, is this targeted mentality. Even in relationship, where a girl is only sitting or a boy is only sitting, I go marry who? Who I go marry? They know only the specs of the kind of person they want to marry. But my question is, are you your spec?
Are you
if they bring your spec here?
Can I get married to your spec?
Can you know who your spec? Are you the person
We
that
respect
you
spec
are?
you.
We respect you.
Respect
Are you your spec?
If you are your spec, will you get married to your spec?
Yeah, if you are your spec, will you marry yourself? Yes.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy that we only look at this externally. Like you said, you are only looking externally, and our world today is so external.
Thank you.
Are you understanding me? Our world today is so external. A wise man once said, forget about who writes the laws and the policies of a nation. The people who control the people are the people who write their lyrics. To know how a generation thinks, listen to the songs they listen to. Don't go and be reading by their laws.
True.
The real thing controlling them is the lyrics. There were things you could not believe that people would dance to, that we are dancing to.
Happily.
When we were growing up, and you sense that kissing will happen for Nigerian film,
If you do Jackie Chan, like
you don't automatically you come what they do you
peace.
you are fitting.
You have not yet ironed your book.
Especially
You remember the
if
fans you have not watched.
No, you have not ironed your book. You are going to go iron your book. Your mother's like, why are you going to my mother's going to iron my book?
especially if you're in your present, your parents. I remember when you used to walk with your parents on the road in the market. You meet up your classmate of the opposite sex. You did talk for you did pray say may no evil ways. Like for not that there's anything. You are not just even comfortable.
You just need bed.
But there
And
is
it's not written, Apostle. It's not written down. Because you come back, but let me just. It's not written down. It's just there. Because Peter Drucker is one of the best managers I ever lived. He said that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And I'll dare to say the law that he mentioned, which has been written, it's a strategy, how we'll get there. But what happens on the ground, the songs that we listen to, is the culture.
Yes,
And
the
you have
culture.
seen there has been a swap like this.
Swap.
And that's why you go and check the laws and say one thing, but you see what's happening on the ground is
It's
completely
different.
different.
Even from up,
It's different.
even from up.
You will hear girls who say, why are you only after me? When they come, why are you just have to sleep with me and run? Why will I not? Which song were you dancing to last weekend? Your waist, oh your waist, my low waist.
Yeah, waist
it
na
is your waist
34.
I'm coming for. Yeah, this. We told you that's what we're coming for. Why are you surprised?
Your waist is 34. I am 24.
You see, this is the reality.
Yeah.
This is the reality. We told you we were coming for it, and you were dancing to it.
And you were gesticulating towards me. So I have come now.
And then you come and say, what are you? Have you ever heard a song say, oh, look at your wonderful head, you know how to solve mathematics? Have you ever heard that kind of thing?
I have got the
We
chocolate.
wouldn't even dance with it if you played.
This, we have to be very careful.
We'll just tell you you are an upcoming fail artist.
You see, so lack of knowledge has destroyed us. That's why you see, great men don't make friends anyhow.
Yeah.
Agreed.
They don't.
Agreed.
Great men don't make friends. They know. Look, they can be friendly. They can empathize.
Can be very friendly.
They can be
friendly.
very friendly, but they know we are not friends.
And that's the problem. Because in our generation today, when a man of caliber and timber is friendly with you, you just want to take it to a level that
Exactly.
And now when the man does not, respond.
But somebody told me, I'm not saying I'm a great man, I'm just saying the story. Somebody told me that they said I was not normal in the group in which I was. And they said I was not normal
But
because...
Apostle, I think you heard that thing that you're also not normal.
They said that because again, and in all honesty, I was working on myself, and as I worked on myself, I thought I could help other people to improve. So I meet you and I try to be nice and I tell you what you possess and I try to remind you of how great you are to get you out of that self-doubt which I know is suppressing most people in life. But the person listening, maybe because the person is intimidated by influence, the person is surprised at the fine boy, we get money according to them, by the way, he talks well, he's talented, he's talking to me. They don't see it. It's not possible for you just to be friendly. Again, it's not possible for you just to deal without any deeper.
And the day she comes to your office and you are not that friendly, that's why they hide.
That is exactly, not that they came to the office, but they were surprised that it ended there.
Yeah.
That's it. I was just extremely friendly because I felt you can't inspire somebody whom you're not friendly to. Let me not use the word friend. So in my let me use the word outings, I was always like, you don't know what you carry. If you see what you carry yourself, you will be surprised and stuff like that. So all those things to show the person his or her real self. But I bet you, it was instead interpreted as an attempt. It was instead interpreted as me trying to hustle.
Whoa.
So when it never ended now in that hustle, I was seen as if I'm not normal. I'm bringing in the context of what the conversation we're having today.
Yeah.
It's very important. Apostle said something. He said that Christ said that there had been a communication. When I was writing down elements of a value system, the first I wrote is purpose, and in bracket I wrote vision.
Okay.
Because your friend should have conversations with you around your vision. you have conversations with your friends around their vision.
Yeah.
That is why you can't really be friends. It's not possible to be friends with so many people.
Yes.
Because in terms of commitment, when do you have time to commit to help their vision? Remember, it's supposed to be a mutual thing. There's supposed to be reciprocity. In fact, for you to ever be a good friend, you have to add value to the other person's life. So how do you add value to somebody's life? You should be able to help that person to accomplish his or her assignment. Again, we are now maybe setting some. If you are not helping somebody to accomplish his or her assignment, you cannot be that person's friend.
This is what you're just saying, key into what Apostle was saying. This is where Cameroonians all have a problem. You walk into the governor's office or the DO's office and he's friendly to you. And the next thing when you have an issue, you'll say, "Ma, go call my friend. Ma, call my friend the DO. May handle this thing." The DO was being friendly. But you just assume that because of that, now he has suddenly become your friend. And Cameroonians have that issue.
Remember, I gave this quote at the beginning that the lack of boundaries doesn't mean that it doesn't indicate niceness in a relationship.
No, in our today's generation, if you have boundaries, you're not a good friend.
And so because the governor understands the concept of boundaries, he knows that the fact that he's nice doesn't mean that you have penetrated the main boundary.
And doesn't mean he has to be foolish in just handling
No, the problem is that you are the one who is thinking, not him.
Exactly.
You are the one really thinking.
And that's why this conversation is important.
Yes, it's you are the one thinking, not him. You see, the thing is, that same passage I wrote, it says, "A man of too many friends comes to ruin." That's how another translation put it. That it comes to ruin. Because you see, true friendship is sustained by fellowship. Is sustained through fellowship. You see, this very passage that says that evil communication corrupts good manners. You only see in a negative light, but that same thing has positive connotation.
Yeah.
Good communication will do what? Will not corrupt. It will also
build.
Enhance.
It will enhance. It will build.
Yeah.
It would enlighten. Jesus says that what? He made a very powerful statement, and that was where I was actually going to with my submission. Jesus says, "You are now my friends because I have told you everything the Father told me." Remember, I don't want you to look at it in a religious way. This is Jesus doing his assignment. And there's a reason why he called these people, because they had that calling, they had that same assignment. In fact, he remember where he was going, he says, "As my Father has sent me, I'm sending you." He knew they had to continue with that work. He said, "Okay, now we are friends. I've told you everything the Father has told me." In other words, he says, "You did not choose me," because the next verse he says, "You did not choose me, I chose you." It means, first of all, friendship must be intentional. Intentional. It means that you don't get swept away, whether it's from which end. It means that it's an intentional thing, that you don't stumble on it and you are washed away by the wave of it. No, it's not. It means I personally ensured that we are friends. It means the friendship was not I chose you. It's you make the choice.
That's why the wedding is not friendship. You can have a couple that are not friends, because at the level of wedding, it's just until when you get into the intentional part.
Intentional. I chose you. It means that it is my choice. It was intentional. Then secondly, he says, "I have communicated to you everything the Father said." This thing was surrounding the Father's business. This thing was in line with the vision. It was in line with my purpose, with the thing that I came. We fellowshipped based on that thing. Now, when I am choosing you, I chose you. A choice comes. Even this is what we even talk about in marriage. It's the same concept we apply in marriage.
Yeah.
When you say you have chosen somebody, I've preached in quite a number of weddings. The other day I was preaching, when I was preaching one of my son's wedding, I told the lady, I said, because the passage changed my whole life. It's a passage that we always quote only one verse, one part of it. All things work together for good to them that love God. That passage was not ended. The second part says, "And are they called according to purpose?" So I learned early on in life that God did not call you out based on love. Do you know the meaning of calling? It means we were called out not based on love. I don't even understand what I'm saying. So it means that is why it's very foolish for you to be getting married to somebody because you love them. Everybody has capacity to love, and that's why your husband or your wife will not be the only person you love.
Some people are scared of that statement like that.
No, it's not. Somebody wants to hear it.
No, it is.
When you say scared, it's like we can hear it. We don't want to hear it.
You see, and the very fact that we run away from reality is the problem we have in Christianity. And more than 97% of the people who come to my office that they want to marry, that have the privilege to counsel them, maybe premarital and all of that, you will hear they say, I'll ask the lady, I'll ask the man, why do you want to marry? I just love him. I'm like, really?
Wow.
This thing will fail.
Interesting.
So the Bible says, if
you should make first.
All things work together for good. Did you hear that? For those who love him. It says, and are they called according to purpose? That passage changed by the day God opened up to me. I said, what? He says, look, I don't call people. Calling means you're set apart, right?
Yes.
Means all of us are there.
Yeah.
How we know when it comes to love, God does not love you more than me. Exactly. You only feel it. You can feel loved more because of your alignment to purpose. That's why some people, even you sometimes, have you ever felt like God loves you more than somebody? Be honest.
I have many times.
Then, but also there are people you have looked at and you felt like God loves that person past you.
No, I used to feel like God. God does not really like that person.
No,
I don't want to ask that question. That's a
No, I wouldn't. Seriously.
No, but the honest thing is that the same way you have felt like God loved you more than some people, you have also looked at some people and you're like, didn't say God has some.
It's just that spiritual maturity that permits you not to be
jealous.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You didn't get jealous. You didn't get too jealous.
Because I'm not jealous. I just feel like everybody has like a process.
So,
that's it.
So my point is this: your alignment to your purpose is that thing that makes that God's love special. Yeah. But you see, He called you out because for those He foreknew, He predestinated, and those He predestinated, He called. So your calling. Because you know calling has nothing to do with pastoring. Let's be clear. Don't think I'm talking about calling here. No.
For pastor and apostleship.
No. It means when God called you out, He did not call you out according to love. So you cannot pick one girl out of billions of girls on this earth because of love.
Yeah, that's true.
Because marriage is a calling out. You come. So I can't pick one out of the billions of girls on this earth out of love. It must be because of purpose. So until the depth of friendship, a lot of times the friendship would grow to that place that, because friendship is unique to humans. Animals don't have friends. They can be fun, they can be friendly, they can all of that. But there's the human instinct. Because friendship is something that is deep, yet, for example, it says a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Do you know that Jesus' closest people on this earth were not related to him?
He even said it.
He said it. Who is my mother? Who is my father? These ones are doing the will of my father.
He kept even his mother waiting.
And that's where the scripture that says, obey thy father and thy mother. Many people don't see that in the Lord part.
Yeah, it's not about that was actually obedience to the father and
many people don't see that.
Yes,
Sorry.
So we just need to be able to put this into perspective, because like he said, this friendship also has the spiritual root, sustained through fellowship. Yeah. And that's the danger also. Okay. Because anytime you fellowship, there's an exchange.
Now it's it's very easy for people have been listening to everything we've been saying. Now the one thing that I have noticed from the comments that we're having, everyone is giving the attributes that they are looking for in a friend. Now I mean, little bit, because actually I wanted to ask that same question, like what attributes should we be looking for when trying to be a good friend or trying to look for a friend? But after the conversation that we've had, it shows at the end of the day, we have to focus it now on like what attributes do we attain before we can, start sorting out friends. But before we get to that part, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined in here by Pastor Julius, who has always been very instrumental. He always takes the conversation to a different dimension. Like, I like that part of him. The conversation can be going in one area and you all feel like, no, it's all good, it's all right, and he just comes with a very different side, and that's why I like him. When he's on the panel, it balances things out. So together, let's just say good morning to you, Pastor, and you're welcome.
Thank you for having me, man.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome.
So why is everybody receiving greetings with good morning, sir? There with me was just good morning. I don't understand. Are you trying to say they are your friends? Nah, me, I'm friendly.
You know that we are men and you're the special one among us. So.
Okay.
So you're special. I never knew.
I didn't know. I like that. I'm feeling now. I feel special. You know. I feel like God loves me more than you people now. You understand?
That's your business. I know my own thing.
You guys won't talk to me like that. All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you've been listening to the conversation ever since you arrived, and we did mention we were going to talk about friends, and you were on set today. We decided to talk about this. So what did you just put together? Just give us a little hint as to what brings you here and what you want to say.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity.
You are welcome.
There are many things we can look about or we can look into today. Talking about friends. You know, one of the pandemic we have in our society today is we don't know who to call our friends. We don't know who to associate with. We don't know who you're just friendly with everybody. In life, it is impossible for everybody to love you. It's impossible for you to be close to everybody. And sometimes you just look at a person and you look at some things that the person does and you'll be like, oh, I want to be friends with this person. Meanwhile, when you get close, you discover that, oh, that was packaging. Or that was packaging. And
now, so, I said he always comes with a different side.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So you must get deeper to know who this individual is before you can bring close. Because
and how do you even get to that place of knowing, okay, get to know someone so deep before bringing them close?
Okay, it's simple. First of all, you have to know what you want for yourself.
Okay.
Just like Apostle was talking about marriage. You don't just marry anybody. What do you want? When you know what
are you
want,
after?
you will go after it. And then if you just want to marry, like people just marry these days because of some, like he said, I just love him. It's not
because
enough.
of the title.
It's not enough.
Or because of that dancing that happened that day and they spraying the carottage.
It's not enough to get married. And sometimes when you bring people close to you, just maybe because, oh, this man get cast, maybe if you open me up to opportunities, it's a very wrong motive.
Okay.
And at a point, you must get to know what you want first, and then you will know who to bring close to you. When you know what you want, like for instance, I want to be a pilot. I will not make friends with taxi drivers, of course.
No, they can drive you to the pilot place. You cannot really say that. You understand?
There's a difference between air and land.
Yeah, that's true.
So for me to know what I want or where I'm going to,
Yeah.
I must bring people who are walking my direction.
That's true.
Yeah, when you don't work with people or when you don't make friends with people who are walking your direction, it is difficult for you to know who to work with. Yeah.
I like that. At the end of the day, I love that part where he said sometimes you're looking at someone like, oh, I want to be this person's friend, because you have no value system. You don't know where you're going to. You don't know where you're coming from. No, nothing. You just see somebody every day like, okay, let's just take, for example, you see Cindy Emade. You know, she's always looking beautiful on social media. She always has fine clothes. You just want to be her friend. Only for you to go arrive there, you discover that no, it's packaging.
You see, our disappointment. You see, there's something that happened. There's a story that's written in the Bible that many people have not understood why it was written, and that story has always got to me worked up because it's the one time that Jesus cursed, the only time that Jesus cursed in the Bible. He comes to a place. The Bible says he was hungry and wanted fruit. He saw a tree that has leaves. So from a distance, it was very green and fresh. Active.
He was
So, but he ran there expecting fruit, only to reach there.
It's an empty container.
And the Bible says that tree was very fresh, and looking very beautiful.
Yeah, that's why he came now. But he saw that from a distance.
Yeah.
You see, one of the thing that you really need to also debunk is when people who so many times girls always make the statement. I'm sure Madam Lady, you will know what I'm talking about. The other I was talking to a girl and the lady said, I beg you, I don't over suffer, I don't over be understanding girlfriend. So my correct. So I don't need me any man picky way ego stress me again. Now any girl who, I'm sure you understand what she's saying. What is that? She's saying that I don't want to understand me again. I need to borrow again money. That's what you say. I was like, you say no, I say I don't need me borrowing away. You can add my stress. I need somebody who will come and relieve me from my stress. So, and it's a common thing now. I hear a lot of girls make it. People have said that to me directly, indirectly. I said, okay, no problem. I'm always very open. I always like to have discussions. That's okay. So my question is this, Madam Understanding or Madam
Former Understanding girlfriend.
Yes. Now that you really want that somebody should come and relieve you,
You're a damsel in
of your
distress.
stress, what will you be relieving him of?
The downer stress.
You are saying that you need money that it relieves you, right? I said, okay, so now if you meet a man who has made his money, he has his money, right? Take note, your own stress, na money. So you met a man. No, listen, whether you like it or not, there are people who have no problem giving you transport for 300,000 to go from Moliko to wherever you are going to, up Balingo. If you meet a man that has the money, what will be your own relief that you will be giving to him? Guess what she said? I will relieve him in the evening now.
But that's what I said. Like that's the easiest. That's what she brings. Like someone says before dating me, know that I bring absolutely nothing to the table. If possible, I
really wish.
I can say the table.
I really wish we're really talking about this, but I really wish girls know that how easy sex is.
Yeah.
That sex is so cheap and so easy. I don't need up to even 5,000 to have it.
Yeah.
Good one.
Better than the one you can offer.
That you will be flaunting that you cannot even do well.
We don't even want to check your competence.
I told you wanted to tell him not to say that.
No, in all sincerity, he's making an important point.
We have to be very careful. The people who are even talking about it, they're not even good at it.
Hi, my God.
We have to be careful.
Apostle.
Especially in a generation now. You see, I told some ladies, if you have not solved, if you can handle your grip, you have solved more than 90% of your problems. You see, even this one talk about these friends and this friendship. You see, there are still girls or boys who have not moved on even from exes just because of the gains.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we call it on social media our fringe or
No. We in
relationship benefits.
This should remind me of what the whole. If you discover what we have, everything we have said here talks about reframing your mind. Because at the end of the day, you cannot attract, like he said, who you are not. In fact, that's the reason why I'm sure Madam Claudine has the flyers there. I have this event on Sunday at Chariot, the Rise of Giants. It's a program I hold often. It's it's a mentorship program. Okay. Yes, transformational leaders for young change makers, people who are intentional. Because you see, all this superficiality comes because the typical African or Cameroonian is not intentional about their life. They just want to stumble on things. They just hope. They just wish. So, okay, as I was discussing with this lady said, but why is life so hard? I said, no, life is not hard. because even Jesus Christ, who did not sin, life was hard for him.
Like life was not designed to be
No.
fair. It wasn't.
No, I don't want to use the word fair.
Yeah.
I said there's a reason why Jesus is carrying cross, and yet when they want to cry, just say, "Don't cry for me." Mindset. He knows what is happening. I'm sure if you're watching, I'm sure they've put it up on this Sunday. That's 12th of May, I think, at Chariot Hotel. That's a program that is normally 10,000 francs for a ticket, but Wisdom Foundation has subsidized the tickets, and you can get a ticket for just 2,000 francs. So you should attend that at Chariot Hotel. A wonderful time, 3 p.m. This Sunday. Let the theme for this season is the power of the mind.
Okay.
People don't yet understand.
Most powerful thing on the
They don't understand. They don't understand what you see. People. So this like you don't yet understand how much it means. You can how to reframe, reshape. You can change your entire life. In fact, Romans chapter 12 verse 2 says in the New Living Translation that let God transform you to a new person by changing the way you think. I love to quote it in the New Living Translation. It says, let God transform you to a new person. Your new self. You see, he made a very powerful statement. You don't drive friends. The same way you attracted the other ones. If you change from who you are, the ones will go. That's supposed to say, it don't change.
Yes.
There are people that you yourself, you discover that you could no longer be friends. You fight to tell you say vex go you.
The man a church man.
It good.
First.
Yeah.
But suddenly.
Yeah. You see, if you change who you are, that's all.
Things begin to happen.
All my friends,
In
remember
quotes.
in quotes, that I had before I was doing what I am doing, just
They fall off.
did I
You don't even know when
I
that
did not
happened.
come. You see all the talk on social media. Oh, give my bad friends. Go away from me. Those things are just.
You say you-
It's not even emotional.
They're
There's no
not
intention.
emotional.
There's no intention.
You start
about
seeing
it.
some people. There's a quote on social media that says your mother sees fake friends before you even do, and I'm like, my mother does not have something better to do than to be looking for who is fake.
I made a post the other day. I was saying that unemployment in this country will never cease. What was my reason for making that post? You see, somebody gets to year one in the university, let's say 17, 18. Well, in year one, the person is living in one small room. He's just managing life there. Year two, the person is already in an apartment. And you are like, how is your own God with the servant? I wish that
It's a God of wonders.
give us the app.
No,
that
the
we can
address.
install
It's a God of
and be
wonders.
like you.
Yeah, the miracle didn't really tell their God.
And then you discover that most of them, they are living their futures when they are preparing for the future, actually. Okay, someone in year 2 now is using iPhone 14 Pro Max. How much is it?
My dear, my first phone that I was ever given was 6,000 francs, and they told me that I've overdone it. Till
Yeah.
today, it still pains me.
iPhone 14 Pro Max, how much is it? Okay, that
500,000.
apartment, you left from a single room of about 15 to 20,000 to an apartment of 50 to 70,000. What do you do as a student? Nothing. Then
She's
okay,
blessed.
Then
She's blessed.
out of the university now, you're facing the reality. You need money to sponsor that same life you've been living in the university. And maybe at that point in your life, you don't even have what it takes. Maybe because you
No
were just
value.
living that life to feel among,
Yeah.
so that people can love you, people can respect you somehow in the university.
Never respect me, by the way.
Whatever respect.
Because that's where fake friends come in, right?
Because yeah, who sponsored that? Like, what were you giving that person?
So the future that you went to school to prepare for, you lived it in school.
Oh, so you're trying to tell us that some of us already lived our future.
So many girls already have their future in their hand. They're holding it
They
now.
lived it already in school.
That are already my vision, man.
They're holding their future in their hand. They're pressing it
They
now.
lived the future in school. Now they
They
are.
already have their future in their hand. They're pressing it. Any day that something is falling, their future that they're about to crack. You don't
Really,
know.
very serious.
I was on the same platform. Please, just 1 minute. I was on the same platform on my Meet the Love Doctor. I made a statement here, and Madam Rita was looking at me. I said, I was telling guys. First statement I made, guys, you are not responsible for any girl you have not married.
Yeah.
Like Papa, responsibility.
Exactly, of course.
Don't try it. 2, any girl you meet who is living in an apartment that cannot pay is a red flag. Don't marry her. How do go there?
How did she get there?
How did she get there?
Who paid?
Better come to your buy house.
Now what are they bringing?
No, let's.
By accident. I just want to tell the three of you that the two of you will never sit together again. It's not gonna happen.
We have to be careful, and people don't see the flag. How can you? That's why you meet them today. Next week is their birthday. You meet them tomorrow. They start telling you, "Di my rent this, the door my landlord you can't visit me." How does it concern me? How does it concern me?
We're looking for sponsors.
How will you living before I
And but Apostle, you know that people do this and then they get married and then apparently they hope that the person will change or something. I'm just saying because people live from there and they get married.
Yes.
From
All right,
there.
let me take these contributions literally because the question the topic on screen is not what people are actually replying to. People are replying to what qualities should we look for while choosing our friends. And someone says honesty, responsible, mature, hardworking, and prayerful. So to this person, if you are honest, you're responsible, mature, hardworking, and he thinks you're prayerful, you are going to be a very good friend. Another one says a friend with whom you share common goals, a friend with whom you share similar values. This person had been listening and probably got that inspiration. This other one is coming from Prophet Wari. He says, it is good to choose a friend of the same strength with you, but it is better to choose a friend to complement your weakness or flaws or shortcomings. Please, I hope you guys are taking these contributions down. It is good to choose a friend of the same strength with you, but it is better to choose a friend to complement your weakness or flaws or shortcomings. All right, Eteng Larry says, good morning, everyone. I will look for someone who is honest, caring, and daring. That's someone who tells me when I am wrong amongst people. Friendship, of course, is all about supporting one another to grow in all ramifications. Thank you so much, Eteng Larry. Animon says, honesty. Honesty is her go-to word or whatever once you are honest, you are Animon's friend. All right, Giselle says someone with a listening ear, someone who is compassionate, someone ready to help, someone you can share your problems to without fear, someone available if not at all times but most of the times. So, Apostle, Apostle, can I read my contributions quietly?
Contribution, no. After that, I also contribute to that. I really want to contribute to that.
Someone that can sacrifice for you, someone you can call and he or she will be ready to help. That is from Annie Giselle in Dubai. This other one says, as an individual, I choose my friend based on their spirituality and how we bond. If we can bond, then if we can't bond, then it won't work. Looking out for each other two matters, not one-sided, and also speak the truth about each other, whether good or bad, so as to improve ourselves and more, and so we strive for growth. This is from Brenda at Campaign Street. Well, I've been reading contributions in my mouth.
Please, let me just beg for.
Apostle, so if you just allowed me to rest.
No. Beautiful contributions, but the more we keep empowering what we want, and just, we keep listing. I always ask myself, oh, you want somebody who can sacrifice for you. You want someone who can do this. The question is, can you do all of that? Because if you can't do that, that's parasitic. A parasite is something that lives off you to your destruction.
Yeah, I think there was there's this story. This is it the Senegal president?
Two friends.
Yeah, his friend. Yeah, many people were like, "Oh, that's a good friend." Someone went under that post that many of you want that president's friend, but none of you wants to be that friend. You want that friend, but you don't want to be that friend.
Yes, that's my point. You see, I just wanted to highlight something here since we're already running up. Remember we're taking Jesus.
Yeah.
The way Jesus did friendship. That's the model. And I'm saying this especially, let me talk to my Christian people. Remember, I'm an apostle.
Yeah.
Let me say this to my Christian brothers, because a lot of us have been destroyed, even in church. Some reason why people have not even progressed was because of the friends they made in church. In fact, many people have not grown spiritually because of who they came and made as friends in church.
Very true.
Let's be very careful. In fact, some people have been dismissed in offices because of who they came and made as friends in that office.
Okay, so let me just ask you the question. Then from there, the others who would just follow suit. Is good friends and decision making related in any way?
we have already tried to say that you can interact. Life is interaction, and at every level we interact.
Yeah.
We interact in family, we interact at business place, we interact at home and everything. But not all of that is automatically turned friend.
Okay.
We want to emphasize on that. When it starts getting too personal, let's look at the kind of things that Jesus said. One, you discover that in friendship there is sharing of secrets.
Yeah. I can't share my secret with like 2 people. That's too much.
There's sharing of secrets, there is sharing of possessions, there is sharing of time. It means that friendship is based on that fellowship. You get it? That's sharing. Jesus was literally with those his 12 people at all time. He shared his life with them. He shared the secret. A lot of time, Jesus will come and preach. I won't go explain to them after. You go and say, that's how we have a talk, so that's why. Many times people don't understand what you're saying. He go explain of it. Now you people. It's in your Bible.
True.
Are you understanding? He shared his secrets. He was like, that thing I was telling you like that. This is what I meant.
It's the actual meaning.
This
He spoke
actual
in parables, but he
Yes.
explained to them.
So there is that fellowship. So this is friendship. So the more you fellowship with somebody, you cannot be fellowship with somebody and claim that you are not heading towards friendship. I'm saying this because even when people are in toxic relationship, they will claim it's not.
Yeah.
That's why you will see people are in gossip rings and say, but we're not really friends. Because it's another thing. The same way we are saying that some people are not friends, some are friends that people are denying. I don't know if I'm making sense. So they are coming. You see people who born over negative things. See the end of it. So the first thing, someone will just say, I love that style they sing. Yeah, you try. You talk like because you don't know if they have already spoiled. Then you're like, no worry. Where you go know you joke calm.
Just like somebody made mention of flaws.
Yeah.
And I was wondering how many friends can stand you for your flaws.
Don't worry yourself.
How many people can
For your own
stand
flaws,
you-
right?
Yeah. How many people
Okay.
can stand you for some negative things that you have in?
Oh, that pastor, the preach fine. You just try not to do.
Yeah, because I don't know it.
And because you just find that today, maybe Holy Spirit don't just touch him. Yeah, for me, this is just.
You know, people usually use Jesus as a perfect example. But didn't you see Jesus with a whip in the temple? Whipping people?
You see, Jesus also was sharing with his friends, but he was not sharing. He was not sharing any kind of thing. Jesus said, "I have shared with you only what I've received from my Father." So you see, Jesus centered his focus and communication on his purpose.
Yeah.
You get it? People will come to church. One lady came. Something had happened in church. A scenario had happened. So this lady got up. She said she was feeling down. She was, we hear this every day. If she has to leave the church and everything, then she went and met one other sister and was telling her what happened. So I called her. I said, "But why didn't you tell me?" She was like, "Oh, I was afraid." I said, "Afraid of what? Have I ever at any point give you any reason that you could not open?" I said, "Okay, no problem." My question is, since you told this also sister that you said you spoke to, have she ever told you that let's pray? No. You see, you just form but a bond of, most of the time when people want to share, they share with somebody who will agree with them. Will agree, who will strengthen who strengthen your pain, justify your anger, justify your remorse, justify, who would, I said,
Will not be objective.
Yes.
Just relate.
So all the person who is doing that, I said, sings. I said, okay, let me ask you a question. What condition, what did you use as a measuring rod to go and talk to that person? Had you ever, before this thing happened, ever prayed with that person? I don't know if you understand my point.
Yeah.
Never. Had you ever, before this thing, ever discussed my message? Like you said something, say, hey, like this thing that the man of God preached like this. Oh, look at it as a child. That message. Had you? No. But the first time you felt the need to talk, you gossip. Or you said something that was negative. So your bond was on something negative. And it continues to grow. It continues to grow. Have you ever been hurt by something and it did not pain you? It was somebody else that came and made it to pain you.
Yeah, it happened.
You are supposed to enter house. I know lie, I really try. Because the way Papa talk for you, God knows if not me have a slap, have a wake up.
Then you feel a holy anger.
Yeah. So I just think I want to say that. So Jesus did that. He discussed. It means he was discussing the teaching of his Father. he was discussing. So you are in a church, you are in a place, you should focus on the purpose. Are you getting me? So if you are at a workplace, focus on the things of that organization, whatever. I'm just trying to put this so that people can be able to do that. And then finally, a wise person should look for a friend that will keep them aflame. Because we know what Amos 3:3 says, two cannot walk together unless they agree on the direction.
It means friends will usually do the same thing, right?
Yes, it's very important. So look at your friends and ask yourself that are they helping you to stay aflame? I don't want to just say
The
aflame.
fertilizers.
Yes.
Or they are vampires.
To stay aflame. Because two must be better than one. If two are not better than one, something is wrong. Not every two things that come together are helping each other.
When
Are you understanding
acid
me?
means a good seed, the seed gets destroyed. Those are two things, but one gets destroyed.
Yes. So two must be. It's the same principle in marriage. Two must be better than one. I can't, for example, come to marry you. I have my own baggage. Where I'm coming from, there's enough baggage. You have your own. Then when I come again and carry you on my back.
Yeah.
With your baggage. Then why did I marry?
Then we'll just say like Apostle Paul, it would have been better for you to stay single.
And I think that's something very important. Sorry for coming. I think that's very important. And that's why to imagine that today, majority of couples are not friends. Again, if you say this, some people don't like it, but it's true. And it's actually the truth. Most couples are not friends. They cannot discuss anything. If they don't discuss. There is this common conception where somebody thinks that we are married but I had my account from you. For example, I said the other day one guy laughed his lungs down mad. And I'm like, okay, so you are eating somebody's food. That woman has the potential to poison you at any time. Let me put it into perspective. That lady has your life in her hands because you eat her food every day. You are on the same bed with her, and if she's powerful, she just takes a pillow and you're gone. Or she takes a knife and you're gone. Then you hide the money from that same person. It's happening. And I'm even at the really high levels of marriage. And
it's both ways.
Yeah, that's
there are women who are building houses that their husband don't know.
That's what's happening.
No, there are women who they and their entire family are staying in her house and the husband is paying rent. But the man does not know that house belongs to. We've seen that on social media.
And so this is putting it in context. When Queen Sheba met King Solomon, what happens is she had heard things, but when she met King Solomon, she saw even more. And it made her to give even more. The friendship, let me call it friendship, became even better because of what she saw when she met King Solomon.
Okay.
I'm adding on to what he said. I think that, for us to be able to see things in that perspective of sharing, that perspective of discussing the same purpose, we must go back inside ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and this is the difficult part, that's why people like going to snack bars because people don't want to face themselves anymore.
But that's what when we were saying something, I wanted to just jump just because of time. I wanted to ask you that how would couples even be friends when this had a deep dating? Who say you there? Meet on me now for so bar. Then they came there, they drank six bottles of beer, high, went to the house and had sex, woke up in the morning and ordered food, and went till the next day. That's how people date.
That's
literally.
very true. Exactly.
There are people who cannot have a conversation with the person they are dating for 30 minutes.
Especially a conversation that's not comfortable. And that's where the real things are discussed. The real friendship is built in the difficult conversation.
Now, I've listened to you, Pastor Julius, I'm coming to you. You have some time to talk. I've listened to you three talk. Now, someone sitting there is like, okay, fine. I want to be intentional about my life. Yes. But there's one thing you all have said, you have to know yourself, your purpose and all. And I think in this generation, in as much as we have very nonchalant and careless youths, there are still some youths who are still struggling. It's just that the environment and those around them don't even help them. They want to know their purpose. They want to understand their assignment so that they can better themselves. They're not even concerned
Can
about...
I take this before?
Yeah.
Let me just say this. I don't want to beat around the bush. We don't have time. If you are truly very serious about knowing your purpose, get to me.
Can't we have a program on that?
We can have it, but we cannot have
Really?
a program that will help you find your purpose just because you are watching us.
True.
It will still go to this thing I'm talking about. We can talk about purpose, encourage you, inspire you to pursue it, but it will not make you it will not mean you have pursued it. No, it will not mean you have pursued it because you have watched us. I want to make it very clear. This is an error of religion. Don't think because you have watched people who have discovered their purpose talk about purpose, it means you have pursued your own.
Oh yeah, you have to
No,
discover
every
your
reason
own.
we talk about is to throw light, is to throw inspiration, is to give value to the purpose so that it can inspire you to search it out. And I'm saying this because many people will claim they want to, but they're not willing to take steps. That's why I make that step. That if somebody who's watching right now, I have a whole program of courses, 5 courses that takes 5 weeks. In fact, I'm soon starting a new batch. Not long from now. That program, people take it from all over the world. Some $200, some $100, some $300 based on their schedule. That is to tell you that people are following you from all over the world. People are intentional. If you're intentional, it will show. We have a lot of times practically in the Bible. There are so many parables. Let me just give you this parable. Jesus said that the kingdom of God is like a man who found treasure in the ground. When he found a treasure, he hid it and went and sold everything and came and bought that field. That's what the kingdom of God is. It means that whatever you have that is within, you will pay a price to own it, to find it, to cultivate it, and that is it. This is where people fail. So any purpose you have not found, you have not sought. Because Jesus gave his word that if you seek, you will find. So whenever you have not found, it's not because it's not there. You have not sought.
Yeah.
And seeking is not just saying, I want find a man.
Taking action.
So I will advise you, the good thing is that all these people on this panel can help you. It must not be me. You might not like my face. But I think
I hope you like my face.
yes, he will help you. The person will help you. But I think my advice to anybody watching, I have a whole program for that. We have a lot of practical parts. 5 weeks. Give me 5 weeks. He has plus audio, messages, and ebooks that can help you on that journey.
All right, Pastor Julius, you were the last to come, so I'm going to give you the time to talk. You've gathered everything. All the questions that I had, listed, I think they were answered in one. Just find your purpose, who you are, where do you want to go to, where do you how do you sit and picture yourself? Because my mom always says that the best time, or how you can easily know yourself, for those of us who sit and daydream, that when you're daydreaming, where do you daydream yourself to? That people who daydream seeing themselves preaching somewhere, helping one mama out of one's distress. So my mom is like, that is who your inner man is saying that you love to be. So when you figure that out, for those of us who can daydream, you will be able to know who can be your friend. And I'm very certain we'll no longer have people going on social media be like haters. It means if you have haters, by the way, Apostle, what does that even mean? If you have people in your circle who are jealous of you, who hate you, who make you feel like, what does that mean?
First of all, most of those statements come from our own inner insecurities.
I think so too.
Yes, no.
And sometimes we're saying someone is jealous when the jealousy is in us.
Yes, most of the time.
Because a hater, that's why.
Yes, most of the times it comes from us. That's why I don't trust all these social media things.
Yeah, you just wake up people hate you for this. Who hates you? Who has that time? You are the one feeling that way, like you said, Apostle, you're feeling. You're the one feeling it. We don't even care about it.
So we're having haters, if at all they are there, when do you have the time to even figure? It means you are a hater. Because
exactly.
if you are on your purpose, you won't even have time for that.
So you will not even be able to notice them.
I will tell you this as a pastor, that many times people are walking around and thinking that people are up about their business. People have too many problems to worry about.
Just too many. Just too many. Just
you are,
too many.
Especially in this dispensation.
Just too many.
For you to be the
center
of their
yeah.
issue, like come on.
Yeah, because when I saw that post on social media where someone posted it and people were under like, I cannot believe my friend of 13 years. That's why she's so jealous of me. And I was like, how do you people stay friends for 13 years? I mean, like 13 years and you're unable to know for 13
No,
years.
but it's very common. Many girls have those kind of friends that they are always in constant competition.
Yes, it's true.
Some compete with boyfriends. That's why some will sleep with another person's boyfriend. Some compete where you just want to feel good about yourself. Yeah. You say, do you want one member? Say you are strong, I will show you.
You say a wedding be big. I go make wedding for your own as well, no long more.
This man. Pastor, up to you. You heard from Bine, you heard from from Apostle Lefort Divine. In fact, they've wrapped up already, and like I said, the questions I brought today, they answered it in a jiffy. And I know those who were watching have learned a lot about this thing, friendship. Let's not focus about looking. Let's build. And when you build, you attract the people, and you discover that you will be the one who like start selecting and start saying, no, I don't want this person, I don't want this person. So just give a summary of all that you had to say as we move out.
There's a certain passage in the Bible, Ecclesiastes chapter 11, from 1 to 3 or to 4, if I can say. The Bible says, cast thy bread on the waters. In many days you will find it. Say, give a portion to 7 and to 8. He said, for thou knowest not when an evil day will befall the earth. And he said, if a tree fall to the north or to the south, wherever it falls, there it remaineth.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this saying? If I'm to relate this scripture to friends and to friendship, we all need people at one point in our lives.
Most definitely.
Yes. I believe that whatever money can buy, good friendship can buy. I have a testimony of somebody in Boyaye who got a house of 18 million francs from someone she is not related to. This person in question is the friend of her father.
Okay.
Yeah. So her father passed on, and the friend was like, I cannot be alive and my friend's daughter is suffering because she couldn't pay the bills and stuff like that. So by so doing, the man bought a house for the lady. So what am I saying? There's a point in your life whereby you will need help from people. And if you must be a friend, or if you must have friends in your life, that matters. Just like the Bible started by saying, cast your bread, be able to give something out. Don't just gather people around you, because that's one thing that happens. just gather people around you who,
to be happy
who have built capacity. They are just coming to download everything into you every day, and you have nothing to offer. So you must also be able to move to a point in your life whereby you have something that you can bring to the table. Yeah. Okay, I remember there was a point in my life where I was suffering from prayerlessness. And I was struggling to pray, and some people are even watching me now and they are going through that. I was struggling to pray. What happened to me is that I kept on having that desire. Every day I want to pray, but before I know, the next day I slept off, or maybe trying to pray, I slept off. But one thing that God helped me to do is that I intentionally started making friends with people
who can pray for Africa.
Yes. So there are times we'll go to.
They just call you good.
Yeah.
And they call hello Rashakara. You just put your hand like this and I will give me the kind of friend.
Christianity even became sweeter then, because there are times that I'll go and there are scriptures that maybe I've read and I didn't have a certain understanding of it. I'll meet them, just like Apostle was talking about. People can fire you up. Yes, you meet them, before you know, they are bringing something to the table that you really need for yourself. That's why I say you must learn, you must know what you want.
Yeah.
Yes, what do you want to achieve first in life as a person?
Yeah.
When you know what you want, then you will know who to gather around your life. You will know the people to bring closer. You will know who you can learn from, because don't just learn from people. Our father used to tell us that even foolish people grow old. So it's
so not just that you have to learn
somebody
are old. Even while I'm foolish, I've grown also.
My father, that's interesting.
So people are making errors by just bringing people who who are not even walking their direction. They say a church is like a hospital. Some people are still responding to treatment.
Some people are they need to change their treatment.
So when you get into a church and just carry everybody around your life, and you yourself, you don't have anything to offer. If I'm bringing you closer.
No, Apostle, you are even going to somewhere else. I remember this day, Apostle. There was a commotion in church. Why? The man of God spotted one girl, like she was a newbie in church, and she was making friends with someone who was undergoing deliverance. And the kinds of places that they were going to, the man of God wasn't comfortable. He did not really know how to approach this young girl, because he didn't want it to look like he's trying to break the church and all. But he still succeeded to call that girl and said, look, my daughter, for now, you just came. So I'll prefer that if you want to go close to somebody, look for someone in this...
As a pastor, I'll tell you that actually I've done like that. You say it cause problems.
Yeah, no, he really tried his best, because what that guy was doing... It was horrible. And then the funny thing, when some of us even noticed it, we also told her, like, no, this person is still undergoing deliverance. This person came with a lot. We cannot tell you, because we cannot expose that person's personal life. It's not your place. But please, just break off. It was a problem. No, it was a problem. Till today, she's not in church. And it's the guy that told her that the church is full of demons. Why would they tell her not to be his friend? And so she walked out of church. She left the church, and the calamity that befell her brought her to church. Like, now she literally came back to church in that guy's position. Like, what we're trying to deliver that guy from, now she was the one who came back to church with that issue. So I love that side that you were going. And there's another thing that you hinted on, which I truly feel like it also applies even to men of God, pastors. They just won't gather crowd. Apostle.
Yeah, the thing is...
oh, no, for that one now you are speaking... No, Apostle, I want you to have it. I'm joking.
No, anybody who does not know that because you have gathered crowd does not mean it's your people. You see, it's just foolishness that... It's this social media frenzy where you want to have 5,000 friends. And you think... How can it... Some people say you have 5,000... I've just showed you from the Bible that a man of many friends...
Okay, we're going.
A bad friend.
Yeah.
So...
It's not possible to have 5,000 friends in the real meaning of friends. It's not possible.
It's impossible.
Even on Facebook, you have 5,000 friends.
No friends.
And
No, I have 2,000, but I talk with two.
You discover that
It happens.
when you
That's
make
life.
a post, not up to 10 people see.
Of course.
Even Facebook decide who is your real friend.
Are you trying to tell me that it's Facebook that decides what
Yes,
is
I agree with him.
Yes.
It does not even show it to everybody.
Not everybody sees
So
your
Facebook
content.
is actually not even my friend.
Know that from today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the day. I think these three will have to come up again, looking at something this critical. Friends, I'm sure you all have learned a lot. Now I can call you all my friends because you're part and parcel of my vision. I'm sharing my vision with you all. All right, I want to thank Apostle Lefort Divine for being very insightful. Thank you, Pastor Julius, for taking out time from your busy schedule and running down here. To you, Aya Abinia, thank you so much, especially for the topics. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Please remember, be a part of the program that is coming on Sunday. Just get a ticket. Spots are limited, just 100 spots.
Okay.
Let's have it at Chariot, please.
There be food. Will there be food?
Yeah, you can come with your food.
Okay, no problem. I'll deal with that later on. I want to thank Madam Claudine, and thank you to Mr. Enayo Humphrey, and also to the editor-in-chief, Madam Alice Likie Ikomi. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, I do leave you in the company of beautiful programs still to come up on High Television. Do well to stay safe, and do not move a muscle, because like I said, beautiful programs are still to come. I'll see you all. Take care. Happy weekend. Goodbye.